Just a single mark on a canvas can be perceived as the most dominant shape on the picture plane, and everything else is negative space. Great designers understand the powerful role that psychology plays in visual perception. What happens when someone's eye meets your design creation? How does their mind react to the message your piece is sharing? Here we will explore how psychology impacts the work of the artist and the designer in this episode of The Uncertainty of Art. Remember way back when you were born and first opened your eyes? Your most difficult task was to sort out shapes. Your assignment at that age was to separate the foreground from the background. Seems easy enough now, but at the time it had to be a learned experience. Gestalt psychology addresses this phenomenon. One of the first principles in Gestalt theory is called synergy, the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. A concept understood in sports, the military, design, or any activity that depends on individual elements working together to achieve a common effect. If you were to cut out the background, you would have two shapes. This is the figure shape, the positive shape, the most dominant shape in the composition. And this shape, the negative shape, can be considered the background. The figure-ground relationship is fundamental to human perception and a primary element in design. Here is an example where there is not really a triangle, but it looks like there's a triangle because of the positioning of the three circular cutout shapes. This is merely contrast, but color, texture, and varied differences between foreground and background can deepen the relationship. Here's an example of a figure-ground reversal, where the positive and negative shapes visually flip. Is this a picture of your grandmother or your girlfriend? The figure-ground relationship refers to a cognitive ability to separate elements based on differences. The concept applies to music, for example, in melody and harmony, or in philosophy as in matter figured against the ground of infinite space, or even in culinary arts where a dish has a dominant flavor or element supported by a secondary flavor. Taken separately, the elements may not mean much, but when used together, exciting things begin to happen visually, contextually, and emotionally, where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. So you see now that it is important for artists and designers to understand the psychology of human perception in this episode of The Uncertainty of Art.